Hey guys, back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. Simply put, I'm tired, I'm bored, I'm done with this Arnie Slot era at Liverpool. I am done. I am done. I said it before, I say it again. I said it before, I say it again. I'm done. Arnie Slot out. I said it after Manchester United. My position on that has not changed. Not changed at all. And like basically, just go back on all of the match reactions that I have done. Go back on all of the match reactions that I have put out there since Crystal Palace. Since Crystal Palace, when we lost embarrassingly to Palace, when we lost 2-1. When we lost 2-1 when they scored in injury time. Go back and watch all the match reactions from then and just cherry pick all of the new aspects of each and every single match day since, of all of the bad points, and just clump them all together for this match reaction. Because everything that I've said, and I'm not just the only one that said it, a lot of Liverpool fans have said it as well elsewhere, but a lot of what I have said since Crystal Palace, then during Galatasaray, then with Chelsea, then with Man United, then with Brentford, then with this team, then with that team, then with the other team, they all club together to once again prove that this manager is not learning. He is not adapting. He is not changing. He is not he's not in any way, shape or form changing things for the better. He is a shadow of his former self. Last year, he was doing the changing. He was doing the adapting. He was doing all of these things to make us win games. There were slight tactical tweaks here and there to make us absolutely destroy teams like Man City, like Man United. And this year, that manager's long gone. That manager probably was left in Dubai. That manager was probably left in Dubai, and we got some doppelganger who has just completely lost everything that he had last year. Because once again, this manager, like I said before, is not adapting, he's not changing, and he's doing the same mistakes again and again and again and again and again and again. What's his plan every time Liverpool go behind? What's his plan every single time the second half hits and Liverpool need a goal? Throw on Chiesa. The complete irony, by the way, is the only reason, well, I say the only reason, but what realistically should be the only reason why Arnie Slot currently has a job is because Federico Chiesa cleared a ball off the line, which would have made it 2-1 Sunderland and would have lost us the game. Do you understand how much irony? You literally couldn't write this stuff. But do you realize how much irony there is in that? The most disrespected player under the Arnie Slot regime at Liverpool, in my opinion, is Federico Chiesa. And he's the man who saved Arnie Slot's job. He's the reason why he is waking up today, still the Liverpool head coach. He shouldn't be. He should still be gone, in my opinion. He should have been gone after Manchester United. But he is the only reason why Slot still has a job this morning. Just deep how ironic that is. that he is the man to save Arne Slot's job. Probably on borrowed time. Probably the writing is still on the wall, that kind of thing. And who knows, maybe Leeds is going to be the team to put the final nail in this particular coffin, because last night against Chelsea, they were pretty damn good. And we know that to beat Liverpool right now, you don't have to just be pretty damn good. You can be fairly okay and get away with it. I think the only reason why we kind of got away with it last night was because Sunderland showed a bit of mercy. We were terrible. And again, there are individual errors. Again, there are individual mistakes. Again, you can talk about players. But once again, people, like I've been saying all season, this is not an individual thing. This is not a one-player thing. This is not a scapegoat thing. This is an entire team thing, which are symptoms of the overall root of the problem, which is Arne freaking Slot. And look, mad respect to the guy for what he did last season. Like I said, last season, he was brilliant. Last season, a lot of people didn't give him credit. They said, oh, he won it with Klopp's team, so it's not really his achievement. No. If you actually watch the season unfold, you should know that Slot was the brains behind the operation. He conducted the team. He adapted the team. He hid their weaknesses and displayed their strengths. He adapted certain players. He changed Gravenberch from a central midfielder into a defensive midfielder. Something that no one in their right mind thought was the right idea to do so. But this crazy, bold-headed Dutchman said, you're a DM, and it worked. And then this year, he's got better ingredients and decided to cook salmonella instead of 5-star gourmet meals. This season, he's decided to throw away a winning formula and just create one out of thin air. Explain it to me. Explain it to me, good people. Explain it to me, because I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how 1 week we can actually look good against the likes of Aston Villa, Real Madrid. How can we look good against those two teams and then completely fall off to the likes of Brentford, to the likes of this Man United team, for example, Chelsea, Palace, Galatasaray, PSV? Someone explain this insane drop-off to me. Because again, we could be just sat here talking about individual errors. We really could. Van Dijk, for example. Unacceptable. What he did last night for Sunderland's goal, absolutely unacceptable. Poor pass into midfield and then decides to cower. He cowers away. Mo Salah last night. For those of you who saw the West Ham game and came here to tell me to sell Salah, we looked better with Salah, and I simply sat here and told you this is not an individual thing. West Ham are not that great. I told you that it's not a one-person thing. Where are you now? Where are you now? Salah wasn't on the pitch for 45 minutes yesterday, and that was probably, I wouldn't say the worst 45 minutes I've seen from Liverpool this season, but it was dead boring. It was dead uneventful. It was really, really, really poor. It was shockingly bad yesterday. Mo Salah comes on after half time. All of a sudden, it's a little better. Not that the bar was exactly raised high, but it's a little better. Salah, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. They're the only 3 players yesterday that I can say at least tried to do something. They're the only 3 players that I can sit here and say they attempted to do something. And yet, it's not good enough. And I feel sorry for Wirtz as well. I thought he had his goal yesterday. It was probably going to go out for a corner, that shot, in all honesty. We get a fortunate deflection into the back of the net. You make your own look at times. I've said that time and time again as well. Wirtz gets an assist at the very least. Fine, fair enough. Wirtz was decent yesterday. He was unlucky as well in the first half with the attempt that he had on goal. Wirtz was decent yesterday. Szoboszlai tried, but again, I don't understand this notion of just playing him anywhere but his natural position. Szoboszlai's been our best player this season by a country mile. The consistency, everything about him has been really, really good. No matter where you play him, you're getting a solid performance out of him. I get that. So why not just play him in his natural position? Why are you moving him around everybody else when he's our only good player? Surely it would just make sense to play him in his natural position, make him look good, and try and put someone else somewhere if that is what you want to do. Playing him anywhere but his natural position is, in this kind of form, stupid beyond belief. But yet, this guy, this Arne Slot guy, is doing that. Puts him on the right wing, puts him at right back, puts him at left wing. Just play him in his natural position. Play him in his natural position. Play McAllister as this controller in midfield. Not a runner, not a box-to-box, a controller. That is what McAllister is best at. You're telling too many players to do too many things that they are not comfortable with. It's no surprise that when you go against those ideals, when you go against those principles that you, Arne Slot, have set, we win games. We win games and we look comfortable. Real Madrid, comfortable. Aston Villa, comfortable. West Ham, comfortable. Everton for 45 minutes, somewhat comfortable. Atletico, somewhat comfortable. Frankfurt, comfortable. Why? Because you decided to rip up your stupid ideas, rip them up, throw it out the window, and go back to what was good last year in terms of McAllister is good at dictating the game and controlling. We're going to have him do that. We're going to have Szoboszlai use that absolute engine of his to run up and down the pitch for 90-odd minutes because that's what he's so good at. Yeah, we'll do that then, shall we? Against West Ham. Oh, Kirkes. Actually a very, 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 very good wing-back. We'll put him out on the wide left so that he's not as inverted, because being inverted is being such a waste for him because of that talented left foot of his. We'll put him out wide left. We can also bring Joe Gomez in, put him more inverted, because that works, because he's more of a centre-back than he is a right-back. But he can play right-back. But if we play him at right-back, we can just drop him a little bit more inverted, because that's the way I want to play. Look how that works. And then he goes and just throws it all out the window again. It's absolutely abysmal. Federico Chiesa is the most disrespected player in this team, and yet the irony is that the only reason why Arne Slot is waking up this morning with a job is because of him. Chiesa don't deserve this, man. Big up to Chiesa. Big up to Federico Chiesa. Absolute don. Absolute don. Because would anybody really hold it against him if he slipped over and let that ball in the back of the net? I don't ever want to lose games, and I don't want to lose games based on an agenda. Because if we lost last night, there's no way he could have come back from that. I get that Sunderland are a decent team. I get that Sunderland have performed very, very well this season. But at the same time, if he slipped over last night and let that ball in, with the way that he's been so disrespected, would I have held it against Chiesa? Hell no! Hell no! Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Big up everybody that's here on this Thursday morning. Hope we're all good. Hope we're all good, other than obviously how Liverpool are making us feel right now. If you are Liverpool fans, if you're rival fans that just came to banter, then big up yourselves. Fair play. I understand why. But I hope you're all doing very, very well on this Thursday morning. As always, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, hit up the chat like a few of you are this morning. Big up to each and every single one of you. Niall, it says fair. Big up to you, my friend. Lovely to have you here. I'm going to say it's Morris. I hope I'm saying that right, dude. Do apologize if not. I do apologize if I just get your names completely wrong. I'm not good with names or eyesight, apparently. So I do apologize if I do get your name wrong. But Morris, big up to you, my friend. Lovely to have you here. Slot is a terrible man manager. He has lost the dressing room and the respect from most of the players. It seems that way. And I'm not exactly a massive fan of players downing tools and things of that nature. But it just seems to me like the players are just out there confused. They don't know what they're doing half the time. And the only times they actually do know what they're doing is, like I say, when Slot's reverted back to last season. They look a bit more comfortable. They know what they're doing. They know what their roles are, that kind of thing. Out there, most of the time this season, when he's tried to just do his own thing, Slot, the players just look confused. They look like they've never played together before. They look like they barely know football. It is genuinely like the film Space Jam. And I know I've made that reference 1,000,001 different times. But it is genuinely like the film Space Jam. These players look like they are terrible Sunday League players. Terrible Sunday League players. And that's not disrespect to the Sunday League, by the way. Like, they just genuinely look awful. They can't pass. The only one who can shoot is apparently Dominic Soboslai. It's awful. It's genuinely awful. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I genuinely don't get what is going on right now. I don't get this drop off. I don't get anything that has been going on this season beyond the opening 5 games of the campaign. I really, really don't. Mr. Friday says, get Gakpo out. Mate, I 100% agree. I 120% agree. Again, saying it for a while. I don't want to see Gakpo against Leeds. He probably will play. Because apparently only Salah can be dropped for rest purposes and things like that. But Gakpo can't. He shouldn't be playing, though. You know who I would play? Chiesa. You know who also deserves a shout, in my opinion? Engamoa. And I know people say, well, he's only 17. Guess what? He can't be any worse than what Gakpo is displaying right now. A goal and an assist on Sunday against a poor West Ham team does not in any way, shape or form change my opinion that Cody Gakpo is a killer of all Liverpool attacks. I have never seen someone so tall lose so many aerial battles. I've also never seen someone make so many of the wrong decisions that he does when cutting in on that right foot. Cody Gakpo is so frustrating right now. So frustrating right now. I genuinely I genuinely don't get this guy I really, really don't. Start Chiesa, start Engamoa, but please do not start Chiesa against Leeds. Please. I am begging. I'm literally begging. Do not play Chiesa again. Do not play Gakpo against Leeds. Really, really don't. I'm going to say your names. Corey, I do apologize if I'm getting the name wrong. I do apologize. He says, slot out, mate, get a grip. Bro, if you're slot in, and I'm going to assume you're a Liverpool fan, right? Because I understand why rival fans would obviously want Slot to stay because we're terrible right now. But if you are slot in, genuinely, get in the chat and tell me what makes you slot in. What makes you slot in? Because there's nothing to suggest or nothing for me to cling on to as to why I would want this manager to stay. There's genuinely nothing there, bro. Like, at the beginning of the season, we were winning games, but we weren't playing well. And I kind of clung on to the belief that, okay, we're winning games without playing very well. But, it's basically a new team. There's got to be some cohesion that's got to be formed. There's got to be some unity that's going to be formed. But we're winning games based off our individual brilliance. Eventually, we will form a team, we'll form a bond, and we'll merge together and become better. But that hasn't happened. We've got worse over time. The manager's making the same mistakes. The manager is still doing the same stupid things over and over and over and over again. And it doesn't make any sense to me. He throws Chiesa into the deep end constantly. He throws all his attackers on when he's all out of ideas, which is every single freaking game. His right back situation, he just throws whoever's the closest one to him there, whether it be Szoboszlai or Jones. Gomez did a very stupid thing yesterday. I could see that yellow card coming from like a mile off. And I know it was like a horrible position for him to be in, but even so, just stop putting Szoboszlai anywhere but his rightful position. Stop just having this kind of tactic of give the ball to Mo on the right or give the ball to Gakpo on the left and hope some individual brilliance takes over them, because it just isn't working. It just is not working. There's no patterns of play. There's no beautiful passing of interchange or passing and moving or anything along them lines. There's nothing penetrative. It's just give the ball to Salah and hope he does something. Give the ball to Gakpo and hope he does something. Van Dijk had the most touches of anyone in a Liverpool shirt yesterday. Van Dijk. You know who also had a high number of touches? Konate. Why is that? Because once again, we've got a high amount of possession with Van Dijk passing to Konate. Konate to the right back to Konate, back to Van Dijk, back to Konate, back to Van Dijk, to goalkeeper, to left back, to Van Dijk, to Konate, to Van Dijk, Konate. It is the same repetitive, predictable BS over and over and over and over again. And I'm sick of seeing it this season. Honestly, if you suffer with insomnia, if you cannot sleep at night, just put on a Liverpool game, bro. Just put on a Liverpool game and you will see the most boring football being played, the most predictable football being played. Case in point, we take about 1,000,001 different passes to eventually create one chance on goal. At the end of the game yesterday, and I know we were pushing for a winner, one ball from the goalkeeper, their striker's in on goal. And like I say, if it wasn't for Chiesa, we would have lost that game. Case and point. Slot can be out because we can't get a good replacement. Anybody would be better right now. Well, with certain exceptions, of course. I wouldn't want Ange Postecoglou, for example. But, yeah. It can't... Put it this way. I don't think... These are famous last words. But I don't think it can get any worse than this. So we either replace him with someone who's going to do the same as Slot right now, or someone better. And right now, I just want to feel something again. The annoying thing is that I predicted a 1-1 draw in my predictions. I predicted a 1-1 draw in my predictions, right? And I'm still annoyed it came off. Because I could see it coming from a mile away. Knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew that West Ham wasn't exactly a turning point. Because Sunderland were going to play a style that West Ham didn't dare to. Sunderland were going to be awkward. They were going to be very good defensively. They were going to battle hard in midfield. And they were going to be dangerous in the final third. Now, I don't think they were as dangerous yesterday as what I thought they would be. But at the same time, it's not like we did anything. We moved the ball side to side very slowly. And then we gave the ball away many times. Mostly in the first half through Cody Gakpo. Every time he got the ball, he basically gave it to a player that was in a Sunderland shirt. It's absolutely awful. Big up Dean, who's in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. He says, I'm gutted with what Liverpool have become. It's so disappointing. I couldn't agree more, bro. I really, 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 really couldn't agree more. Big up Andre, who says Salah is horrible. Bro, don't do this scapegoat thing. It's not on Salah. It's not on Salah. Salah at least tried to do something yesterday. Like, that's all I want from my creative players. Just try something different. You know, Isak had like 12 touches in the whole game yesterday. 12. I feel sorry for him. He was coming to this club with so much creativity behind him. I talked about it all summer. So much creativity behind him. He was going to have Frimpong, Kirkez, 2 incredible wingers. One would bomb forward, get to the byline, cross it back. One magical left foot, great crossing, and they've not been used to their best ability because, well, one's been injured for a start, but Kirkez has played inverted. They've not been used to the best of their ability, so how can they supply Isak? In the midfield, McAllister, deep line playmaker, controller, sets the tempo. Not been used to the best of his ability because he's been told to run up and down the pitch as if his legs aren't already on the verge of breaking. Szoboszlai, everywhere but where he pretty much needs to be because his manager goes, Szoboszlai will do it all. Wirtz, starting to find his feet seemingly, but still needs to work on that partnership with him and Isak because they barely get any time together. Salah, been off the boil this season and is going to AFCON in a couple of weeks. Fantastic. And Gakpo, seriously, Rosed, there's a seat in Rosed that he's very good at hitting. Let's put it that way. Big up Kevin, who's back with us. Lovely to have you here, bro. Hope you're doing well. Hi, mate. I'm not too disappointed with Liverpool. We didn't lose every loss to West Ham and lost tonight. Very disappointing at the end of the day. Sunderland, let's not forget, did Chelsea and drew to Arsenal. I mean, yes, but at the same time, here's the thing. It's a draw, but it feels like a loss. Because we're at home. We're at Anfield. If this was away from home and with the way that Sunderland have been playing and with the way that we've been playing, you know what? It might just be one of them things that you just take. But we were at home and we played so poorly. We lacked intensity. We lacked tenacity. We lacked everything. Everything that you expect from Liverpool, a Liverpool side, we just lacked so much. And I can't accept that. I can't necessarily accept that in terms of how we played. It's just there's nothing now. There's just nothing to get excited about, nothing to get interested by. And that's why I say, throw someone on that's going to get us off our seats. Throw someone on who's going to maybe do something different. Go with Chiesa on the right and go with Engamora on the left. At least Engamoa is going to do something, and at least Chiesa, if he does something, we can at least get the song going, right? We can at least get the Chiesa song going to get some atmosphere and maybe some energy into those players. Something. Just something, right? Big ol' Lee's in the building. Love to have you here, bro. Great to have you here. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning, despite obviously Liverpool's form. Slot in for 10 more years, says Manny. Big up, Manny. I appreciate the comment, even if it is a troll. I understand why you'd want that. I understand. Kevin says, Anfield is not the place it used to be anymore, and teams know how to come and park the bus. We need to build stability now. Let's try and get a win at Leeds. Sometimes too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. Here's the horrible thing as well. Here's the horrible thing. Are you confident going into Leeds? Should we be sat here as Premier League champions, having just spent 450 odd million in the summer of 2025, be going, I don't know if we can beat Leeds or not. I don't go into any game confident anymore. Not the way I used to. There are only certain games that I used to not feel entirely confident. Certain Arsenal games, Man City, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and Man United at Old Trafford. Those were the only real 4 games or 4 fixtures, set of fixtures, that I can tell you right now that those were the only ones that I would never be confident of going into. Now, I'm sat here not confident that we can beat newly promoted and potentially relegation candidate Leeds United. And especially after they absolutely dismantled Chelsea last night. Now, I think that was a bit of self-sabotage from Chelsea with the way that they rotated. But even so, that Leeds team, that Chelsea team, should have still been in favour of Chelsea, in my personal opinion. But it wasn't. And now that they've got their tails up, they should be smelling blood. They should absolutely be smelling blood against Liverpool. And I'm just having a look now. It's the 5:30 game on Saturday. 5:30 at Ellen Road. Under the lights at Ellen Road on a Saturday night with a hostile environment, a hostile atmosphere. Those Leeds fans are going to be up for this one. And if we're not on it from the first whistle, we are going to get absolutely embarrassed again. We are going to look lost and we are going to look scared. Simple as that. I am not confident whatsoever going into that. I am so not confident. Agreed. If Slot had the answers, we'd see them by now. Exactly. We are, what, 20, 21, 22, something like that games into the season in all competitions. And yet, the only times I've seen Liverpool play well have been when Slot has gone, I don't want to play my style, we're going to play it this way like we did a bit last season. I agree that there has to be some tactical tweaks. You can't go into every game playing the exact same way. There has to be certain tweaks to the formation, tweaks to the side, tweaks to how we play to sort of accommodate for certain teams, certain players, that kind of thing. But we did that so beautifully and brilliantly last season for the most part. This season, we've not seen it. We've not seen it. And at the beginning of the season, I was like, okay, it's down to cohesion. It's down to new players coming in, that kind of thing. But I was expecting to see some progression. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect right off the bat, but I was expecting us to see more progression in terms of link-up play and defensive stability. Our defense is all over the place. Our attack is boring and predictable, and our midfield fall apart very, very easily. We half press. We don't know when to press. And then when we do press, we get beat very easily because the wrong player's pressing or the other two are out of position or something along them lines. It's just all chaotic and wrong. It's just vibes out there. And Arnie Slot's just sat there on the touchline like, another 20 minutes and I'll throw Chiesa on. We can't even get the ball to our attackers as it is, but he thinks throwing on another attacker is going to make sense. Again, he puts on Ekatike, but he only plays him and Isak up front for a total of like 5 minutes before taking Isak off. What's all that about? We are in need of a goal. Keep Isak on for a little bit longer at least, please. He doesn't do that. He takes him off as he usually does because he doesn't learn from any mistakes. He just does the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I don't understand what is going through his head. I really, really don't. And the more I think about it, the more I actually think that maybe Johnny Heitinger was the brains behind the operation last season. Maybe it was all Johnny Heitinger. It's a bit of a throwaway comment. It's a bit of a joke. I get it. But still, based on this season, there might actually be some bloody truth to it. As a Liverpool fan, I didn't think after beating West Ham that Liverpool was going to beat Sunderland at home. You can see the manager and the players look frustrated. Yeah, I mean, they look confused, if anything. They look absolutely confused, if anything. It's like 1 week they're doing one thing, the next week they're doing something else. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I don't think Slot knows what he's doing, to be honest. Mind tripping. How you doing? Well, my bro, lovely to have you here. It says, Slot out. Are you delusional, mate? Look, again, if you're a Liverpool fan saying Slot in, please tell me why. Please just tell me why you think that, because I don't have an answer for why anyone will be slotting, in all honesty. I really, really don't. If you're a rival fan, though, I completely understand why you're saying slotting. So, again, I'd like a bit more from you, bro. I'd like a bit more from you as to why you believe that. Big up, bro. How you doing? Well, lovely to have you here with us. If there's any Liverpool fan that's slot in, then you're touching the head. What do you want? What do you watch when Liverpool are playing? Because it's not this utter shit. People bigging up Sunderland. Wow. No, Sunderland deserved their credit this season. I don't think a lot of us gave them a lot of hope in maybe some of us maybe in them staying up, or some of us in maybe them doing as well as what they have done, shall we say. But at the same time, in saying that, look, we should be playing a lot better than what we are right now. We should be playing a lot better than what we are right now, and we're not. Defensively, we look a shambles. We look terrified anytime any player runs at us with the ball, passes the ball between us, whatever it may be. We look terrified to defend. We don't want to defend. We are scared to defend. And going forward, we are so boring and predictable that teams are just sat there going, is this it? You spent 125 million on Alexander Isak and you're not going to use him. You spent 100 million on Florian Wirtz and you're not even going to try to get him in a position to hurt us. You've got Mo Salah, one of the best creators and goal scorers, and you're just going to leave him isolated on the wing against two of our players. Okay, cool. Like, it's so boring and predictable. There's nothing different about the way that we try and do things. It's just the same every single freaking game. Big up, bro. How you doing? Well, lovely to have you here with us. Why do people find it weird that fans want the manager out? Are we watching the same team here or what? Sack the guy immediately. I think most fans are just trying to obviously try and just throw a bit of banter in there. they're obviously trying to rage bait a little bit. Certain fans are, and I think certain fans are also just wanting Slot to stay. So I think there's a little bit of that. But if there are actually Liverpool fans out there that are genuinely Arnie Slot in, I want to know why. I want to genuinely know why. I can't think of a reason why we would want to keep him in the job. I really, really can't. Like, if we were losing games, but I could at least see patterns of play. If we were losing games by the odd goal, but maybe a little bit of luck wasn't on our side, but we were playing really well, I could at least then say, you know what? We're almost there. We just need a bit of luck to go our way. We just need to tighten up on a couple of things, and maybe it will get better with time. But there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing to go off here that is in any way, shape, or form a positive for Liverpool. The only positive is that we didn't lose last night. That's the only slim positive that I can find in this. And even then, it's not really a positive, considering that with all due respect, Sunderland are a newly promoted team, and we spent 450 million as the Premier League champions in the summer. So I can't be that positive, even though that is the tiniest, slimmest, most wafer-thin hairline positive that I can find in last night's game. Would have been more of a positive if Florian Wirtz did get his goal, but he did kind of get an assist, so it kind of works out, but you get what I mean. I fear for Liverpool against Leeds because they spanked Chelsea, so I expect Liverpool to lose the game, which breaks my heart to say. I hate to say it as much as you do, bro, but I somewhat agree. I think right now I am terrified going into that Leeds game. And like I say, I shouldn't be terrified going into a game against, of all teams, and with all due respect, Leeds United. I should be sat here as a Liverpool fan going, I'm confident. Not getting too ahead of myself because, you know, that can always come back to bite you. Going, I'm confident that my team can go and get a respectable result. Not saying like it's going to be 6 or 7-0. But, you know, a good 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, you know, something like that. That's what it should be, given what we have and who we have. But it's not, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. If anything, it's probably going to be another draw, maybe, at best. I don't know. I really don't know. We are not beating Leeds. That could very well be the reality of the situation come Saturday night. As a Liverpool fan, definitely a bad atmosphere in the background. Like, this team is definitely not playing with the belief back to best players should be better for us. You know what's also really telling as well? The Liverpool of last year, when Wirtz when the own goal, shall we say, goes in, the Liverpool of last year fight to the death to get that winning goal. And 9 times out of 10, we get that winning goal. And even at the beginning of the season, of course, when we went through those 5 games or 4 games of scoring goals in the 83rd minute and beyond, we had the belief and the mentality that we could win any game of football, no matter how much adversity we had faced in the game beforehand, whether it had been dodgy referee decisions, whether we had gone down to 10 men in the game, whether we conceded 1 or 2 goals, whether we'd been down like a goal to nil or 2-1, or we were 1-0 up or 2-0 up and we got pegged back to 2-2, or whatever the case may be. We had the belief and the mentality that we were going to still win the game regardless. Last night, we didn't have that belief. We didn't have that mentality. Last night was basically, it's 1-1. Let's just get out of here with a point. at Anfield. Stadium of Light, I can, away from home against what has become a very difficult ground to go to this season, the Stadium of Light, I could somewhat go, you know what, with the way that we're playing, it might not be a bad point. Again, I don't like it, but given the fact that we were terrible, given the fact that they are actually a really good side this season, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. But we were Anfield, and we were shockingly bad at Anfield. I don't understand anything that's going on right now. It's literally painful. It's painful to watch. Lee says, I think we have. He's a dead man walking. I was nervous before West Ham, so no, I'm not confident. I was with you, bro. I actually predicted West Ham to win because I thought that they were going to bully us. I thought that they were going to go direct. I thought they were going to absolutely bully us. I thought they were just going to use all of their big men to just sort of pack out the sort of directness and the midfield, and they were going to be first at every first ball and first at every second ball. They just didn't do that. They didn't bully us as much as I was expecting, and that's why we kind of got away with it a little bit. And then, of course, now it's simply a case of we go to Leeds at the weekend, and like I say, if Leeds can adapt to Chelsea, Leeds definitely adapt to us. Like if they are going to adapt to Chelsea, they are going to adapt to us. And if they're smart, their research will be, look at what Brentford did, look at what Crystal Palace did, let's do something similar. And I'm just looking ahead now at our fixtures till the end of the year. Leeds United on Saturday. Inter Milan next Tuesday. Must-win game for the Champions League, that. We to Italy, to Inter, and win there, are we? We have been slightly better in the Champions League, but even then, we lost to PSV at home. Am I expecting a win against Inter to help our Champions League campaign out? No. Because Inter are going to do what every other team does. Sit deep, soak up the pressure, and they're very good at doing that, and then hit us on the counter. We are screwed. We are screwed. Then we have Brighton. Brighton have picked up a decent bit of form. I know they bottled it a little bit last night, but they're always a bit of a bogey side for us because they're very awkward to play against. Am I confident for Brighton? Nope. Then we have Spurs away from home. Now, Spurs normally give us 3 points. But by then, they might have a new manager. Could be a bit of a new manager bounce by then, given what a lot of people are kind of calling for Thomas Frank's head already. Even then, even if Thomas Frank is there, from his time at Brentford, we know that he normally has been a bit of a thorn in the side of Liverpool Football Club. Am I confident going into a game against Tottenham? Probably for the first time in my life. Probably not. And then on the 27th, and this is going to be the frigging kicker, if he's still in charge, at the 27th, we have Wolves. We have Wolverhampton Wanderers. At this current moment in time, Wolverhampton Wanderers haven't won a game all season. We are on match day 14, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have not won a game all season. I swear to God, if this manager is in charge on December the 27th for Liverpool's game against Wolves, and if he gives a late Christmas present to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the form of their first win of the season and 3 points. Oh my God. Oh my God. The heat on this guy will be nuclear. The heat on this manager will be insanely nuclear. Insanely nuclear. To the point where he probably won't be able to manage again. Despite being a Premier League champion. Big up, bro. How you doing? Well, lovely to have you here with us. What happened to my club? Basically, we ripped up the formula of last season, or someone misplaced the formula that won us a Premier League title last season. And we're trying to either replicate it or make it up as we go along, and it's not quite working out. Something along them lines. Either way, not great. But yeah, big up to you, my bro. How you doing? Well on this Thursday morning, other than Liverpool's form, of course. For the first time in years, I can say I'm not sitting down to watch it. I know what's coming. We don't have the heart or fight for Leeds game under this manager. Well, the funny thing is as well, is that Daniel Farke at Leeds, he's not exactly keeping his head above water either. He's in very serious hot water himself. I think the win last night might have given him a little bit of respite in terms of that aspect. But at the same time, in saying all of that, our manager's very much in hot water, and our players... I mean, again, it seems like our players don't know what they're doing because this manager doesn't know what they're doing, what he's doing. But Leeds changed something last night. Leeds did change they did change their tactical approach last night, did Leeds. And it worked. So it can be done then. And maybe it is for the odd game. And maybe it will be found out very quickly. But at the same time, it does show you that for a one-off game, you can change. You can turn things around. And for the odd game or two for Liverpool this season, we have changed. We have turned things around. We beat Villa. We beat Real Madrid. Sound like a broken record, but it's true. Why did we do that? Because we reverted back to certain tactics of last season. Tweaked a few things. Changed a few things. Modified our starting lineup a little bit. But at the end of the day, it was all the same. The DNA was there from last season. The fingerprints were just tweaked. Simple. Sorry, mate. My spelling mistakes are very poor. Autism, Asperger's, ADHD. Play FIFA a lot. Get frustrated on that game. Can I be a Liverpool? Can I be a Liverpool fan since 1982? Oh, big up to you, bro. Big up to you, man. No, I'm. It's not just you, my dear. Like, my eyesight is absolutely terrible. So sometimes my mind gets ahead of myself, and I just misplace certain words. But no, big up to you, my bro. So glad you're here, and so glad that I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're enjoying. Obviously, I hope one day it gets a bit happier and a bit cheerful. We can actually talk about Liverpool winning certain games than this. But yeah, so glad you're here, my dude, and I hope you are enjoying the stream. But and I appreciate you contributing as best you can. You're an absolute legend, my dude. Really can't thank you enough, my friend. So big up to you, Kevin. I just want what's best for us. I can't see the future, but it's impossible. But it's possible for Slot to turn it around, where an interim wouldn't then keep Slot. But it really isn't up to us. That's all I've been saying all this time. That's all I've been saying all of this time, bro. And it's not about having agendas. It's not about being this player in, this player out, this manager in, this manager out. It's about the overall bigger picture, which is, of course, the club. That's the biggest thing. That's the be all and end all. If in the next couple of months or so we start to see improvements, if over the next couple of months or so results pick up, performances pick up, we're starting to move the ball quicker, we're starting to be more penetrative towards teams that are going to sit low block, we're starting to be more confident on the ball, we're controlling games more defensively, we look more stable and a lot more cohesive and structurally and disciplinary wise, we are so much better than what we are. I will gladly sit here and say, you know what, Arne Slot proved me wrong. I don't care that he proved me wrong. I don't care about being wrong or right in these situations. I hope I am proven wrong in these situations because my outlook on Liverpool right now is bleak. My outlook on Liverpool right now is sad and depressing. So, of course, I want to be wrong because at the end of the day, I want what's best for Liverpool, similarly to what you've just said. The problem is that I can't see it right now. I can't see any sort of light at the end of this deep, dark tunnel because Arne Slot has proven time and time again that even if there is the faintest glimmer of light in this tunnel, he's going to just plug up that hole the next game anyway because he just reverts back to type over and over again. So I can't see it. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope in a couple of months' time we go on an unbelievable run of form in which we win every game. We're destroying teams left, right, and centre. We're back to winning ways. We're back to the good times. Florian Wirtz is getting goals and assists galore. Alexander Isak turns back into one of the most prolific and most dangerous strikers in the Premier League. Alisson's back on form. Van Dijk's back on form. Salah is back on form. I'm hoping that that's the case. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath on that. Last night feels like a loss. They said that Liverpool, after the international break, said that Liverpool had 5 winnable games, but just look at us struggling. It's what I said, bro. It's exactly what I said. I said they are 5 favourable games, but before the international break, Brentford was a favourable game, and we lost. Even that Man City game, to an extent, even that Man City game could have been looked at as we might fancy our chances here, and we got destroyed. Got absolutely destroyed. Man United was seen as potentially favourable. Destroyed. Galatasaray, favourable. Beaten. I didn't look at any of those games and say we are definitely going to win them. Even the Forest game. I said we should be winning. Should. But do I have confidence that we would have done? Very little. And I was proven right with Forest. I was proven wrong with West Ham, to be fair. And I'm glad I was proven wrong with West Ham. But was that more so down to Liverpool being good? Or was that more so down to West Ham being poor? I'd probably say the latter. Tonight's going to be fun watching Man United play West Ham. Probably for all of about 5 minutes before West Ham just roll over for them. But that's the reality of the situation. Even Aston Villa. Look at the Aston Villa game. As good as what we weren't anything amazing because it did feel like Unai Emery got it completely wrong on the day, and therefore it allowed us a favourable result to win. Wasn't amazing. It wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination. If he's still here by then, a loss at Wolves will be the end of him. Couldn't agree more. I don't know why he would still be here by then. But yeah, if he's still here by that time, and if Wolves still haven't won during that time, and we hand them their first win of the season, just end the season now, bro. Just end the season now. Big up Reluctant Gamer. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Newcastle done terrible. I mean, you did bottle it against the ultimate bottle jobs in Spurs. Well, I say ultimate bottle jobs. They probably will be the ultimate bottle jobs this season. I don't know. I was thinking Arsenal, but it looks like they're actually going to win it this year. Unless, of course, they don't. If somehow Arsenal do not win it from this position, then they will then become the ultimate bottle jobs. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about it. But it looks like they actually will, because no one else can put together a consistent run of form. So, yeah. You did terrible the other night. And you got a somewhat fortuitous penalty. Like, I get it's a penalty, but I also wouldn't say it was at the same time. I don't know. It was a weird one. It was a weird one that will be given some weeks, but other weeks won't be given. It was one of them weird ones, but you've not done too badly these past few weeks. Liverpool should be winning at home also. 100%, bro. 100%. Much appreciated your time, mate. You're a great person. Love your show. Big up to you, bro. Lovely that you're here, and I'm loving that you're loving the show. Really great to interact with you and talk football with you, my bro. So, like I say, welcome anytime. Really appreciate the love and support, my dude. Big up to you, Kevin. Absolutely awesome person. It's possible that there's more to all this than we know, and maybe Hughes and Edwards do know, in which case it's impossible to know what leeway Slot has. I've got to go, so I will end it on this. I've said before, someone along the way is at fault for all of this. And we'll only know in the future whether or not it's down to Slot or not. Obviously, the players have to take some responsibility and accountability. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I don't like the way that they have seemingly downed tools. We can never be too sure if they have or not. But it does seem like certain members have. That's wrong. But what I'll also say is, Slot had a winning formula last season that has completely changed this season. Now, I wasn't expecting him to continue to do the same things that he did last year, because it did seem like he was an adaptable manager who was using Klopp's DNA, and he was slightly tweaking things a little bit, slowly integrating new things, new ideas, new ways of playing, that kind of thing, each and every single week to certain players to kind of put his own stamp on things. And it was working because it was still mainly Klopp's DNA, but there was just fingerprints that were starting to be put onto it that were Arne Slot's, right? So somewhere along the way, either Hughes and Edwards have basically gone, right, we're seeing the way that you're playing, we like it. We've done all of our statistical analysis, we've done all of that kind of computer nerdy stuff, and we've come up with these players. These players are going to fit into your system. And then they've gone in, and either Hughes and Edwards have messed up on the research front, and they don't actually fit in with his system at all, or Slot has decided to change too much too quickly and has decided to change his style of play again, so that he has now gone, well, if I was playing with these players last season, they would have fit in perfectly. But I've decided to change things a bit more, and now they don't fit in perfectly. So, which one is it? Is Slot completely at fault? Or does Hughes and Edwards have to take some responsibility for the players that they've brought in this summer? For me, only time will tell. I'm completely sitting on the fence on this one. Only time will really tell whether or not these are flops or not. And obviously, it will tell more so by who they decide to get as the next manager, should, of course, they decide to give Arnie the chop. And if he does, a new manager gets brought in, and that will be really telling as to what the overall plan is of Liverpool Football Club going forward. If it's someone similar to Slot, then it's, and he does well, then it's clearly Slot's fault. If it's someone completely different, then we know that maybe winning the league title kind of threw a bit of a spanner in the works for the long-term plan of Arnie Slot and Liverpool Football Club. Maybe that was the case. No one was probably expecting us to win the title last season. It's probably why they didn't give him any money to succeed. Only 10 million on Chiesa, let's be real. And maybe him throwing a spanner in the works meant, oh, okay, that was unexpected. Amazing, but unexpected. So somewhere along the way, it seems that there's been a disconnect. The club or the head coach. Or maybe, just maybe, Johnny Heiting is a genius all along. Anyway, I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. Thank you. I've got to shoot off. But thank you to each and every single one of you for being here on this Thursday morning. Very much appreciated by you all. Like I say, I hope one day that we are talking about lighter and happier topics, like Liverpool winning for once, on at least a consistent level for once, that we haven't seen in quite a while. So hopefully that would be the case. But yeah, big up Lee. Thank you for being here, my bro. Thank you to you all for being here as well. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. We are on the road to 1K before the end of the year is out. So if we can get that done, people, that would be amazing. But either way, really do enjoy talking football with each and every single one of you. Thank you for you all being here. Happier times, hopefully, down the line for Liverpool Football Club. Fingers crossed there is a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dark that tunnel may appear to be. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. Hit up the likes. Hit subscribe if you're new. Hit up the comments as well on anything that I talked about or anything that you may want to talk about for future videos to come. Love to hear that from you as well. You amazing people. And without further ado, like I say, thank you all so much for being here. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talk live stream, and I'll see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day. I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.